So what's the ultimate goal here of this type of racial indoctrination that we just laid out? Well, an 18-year-old Massachusetts girl used Twitter to rat out her mom for attending the Capitol Hill protest last week. Hi, Mom, remember the time you told me I shouldn't go to BLM protests because they could get violent? This is you? She then showed a video purporting to show her mom after an altercation. We should note there's no indication her mother went into the Capitol building, only that she was at the Trump march. Joining me now is Carol Swain, former Princeton and Vanderbilt professor. Carol, what's going on here turning child against parent?
Well, it's the indoctrination of the political left. It's a very common Marxist, communist tactic to divide families. And I think it's more important than ever before for parents to take responsibility for where they're sending their children to be educated. Our schools, whether they're private or public, are not safe places. In fact, even some Christian academies have been infiltrated through the diversity, equity, inclusion industry. What they bring in is that radical gender of critical theory, whether it's critical race theory or critical gender theory. And it is destroying our families. And children have lost respect for their parents and those Judeo-Christian values where you were taught to honor your father and mother, to respect them. Those are being thrown out the window. And parents need to wake up, because if you're paying tuition for a private school and you're trusting them to educate your children, you are abdicating responsibility. Now, and it is racist, and it's all kinds of other things.
Yeah, parents have got to tune in to what their kids are being taught. And I can say this, a lot of parents now are dealing with these Zoom classes. And in some schools, they say, well, you have to sign a pledge that your parents won't watch the Zoom classes, okay? I'm just gonna say to parents across the country, that's your child. You have every right to see what that child is learning or being indoctrinated into thinking. And you have every right to watch and look at the curriculum and see who's speaking and speak out if it is a direct attack on your values. And Carol, this is time for all parents to get involved, get loud, get informed. Don't be afraid.
There's something else too. There's been a rise in child suicides. Can you imagine? It's confusing enough to be a child than to have these people exposing you to these ideas and telling a little boy or a little girl that you may not be a little girl, you may not be a little boy. It's confusing enough to be a child, and I think that's part of the rise in the suicides, is that we're exposing kids to things that they should not be thinking about.
Now, and beyond that, parents and children, that special bond, being interfered with by these propagandists as well. That's
it's
part
evil.
of it. That's the Marxist-Stalinist pledge, though, is it not, Carol? You have to break the traditional family. The family is the state. What the state says go, not what mom and dad says.
Right, and our children, and we saw with Claudia Conway, Kellyanne Conway's daughter, this girl is copying her pattern, but where did they learn that? They learned it from their elite schools or from their teachers, from their classmates.
Well, social media is at the heart of this, but we just, it's tough to be a parent these days. I mean, it is not easy. There's a lot of outside influences. You just got to love your kids and do your best. Professor Swain, come back soon. Great to see you tonight.
Thank you.